So this is an Elddis Avante 840. Going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. At the front of the van you've got your jockey wheel, hitch and handbrake. We'll demonstrate these to you in person here on site. In the front locker you've got your two gas bottle tie downs. As you can see, there is two bottles in here, and the gas pipe work from the regulator to the bottle. On top of the bottle you've actually got your gas valve, so you've got gas on when you turn the valve anti-clockwise and gas off when you turn the valve clockwise. On the bulkhead you've got the regulator itself. You don't need to do anything with this, just make sure when you're travelling that the gas bottles are turned off. Some people even disconnect them. I wouldn't personally, but I mean you can leave it connected if you want to, or disconnect them travelling down the road. Coming down the side of the van, you've got your two wind down legs to stabilise the caravan while it's on site. They're only there for stabilising, they are not there for lifting the caravan. You need to put all of these down when the caravan is in use and on site. You'll see for the handover purposes we've just got the ones down on the back of the van. But like I said, for using the van while you're on site, all legs down and make sure the caravan is as level as it can be. Then got your water pump connection. You pull up the housing cover here and pull the pump out to release it. Push it in and lock it in place to use it. When you slide down the cover just here, it'll actually lock the pump in place. You need to make sure the pump is fully submerged in water prior to turning the water system on. Going down the side of the van, you've got the battery locker with your mains power lead coming in from power on site. If you've got your battery with you and you come in for the handover, we'll swap the battery over and put that into place ready for you to use. Like I said, you've got your mains power coming in, and behind here you've also got your power switch for the motor mover itself, and I'll demonstrate that to you while you're here on site. You've also got behind there a connection for TV aerial and satellite TV behind there, and a 12 volt socket as well. Motor mover and wheel nuts, we'll torque the wheel nuts before you leave site, and like I said, we'll demonstrate the motor mover so you can see it's all working correctly. You will notice down the side of the van you've got these two vents here, and that is for the heating and hot water system. You don't need to do anything with those. They are, like I said, they are just there as a vent system for that side of things. Going further down the van, the fresh water that goes in the front has to come out somewhere, and that's where the two grey flaps come in down here. Pop the caps open and put your bits of grey pipe work in and drop them down inside your Wastemaster. Next thing we're going to come to is the toilet waste cassette. Pull up the orange handle and pull the cassette towards you. The orange neck here will turn at 90 degrees so you can tip the waste away. The orange cap is a measure for your pink and your blue fluid. And on the back of the cassette you've got an orange pressure relief button, so when you're tipping the waste away it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. In this cassette you'll need to put 1 litre of water and a cap full of the blue fluid prior to use. The top here you've got your toilet flush tank, so you'll put 3.5 litres of water in here and a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use. At the back of the van, you've got the two wind down legs to stabilise the van while it's on site. Coming down the door side of the caravan, you've got a storage locker for underneath the bed at the rear of the van. You can open that up and you'll access the storage, but also the bed will lift up so you can access the storage from inside of the van. Two fridge vents, very simply there to allow the hot air at the back of the fridge unit and to take some cool air in. During the summer you will notice the fridge won't be as efficient when it's a very hot day, as it can't get enough cool air out the back and take enough cool air in, get enough warm air out and take enough cool air in for the fridge to operate at its full potential. Coming down towards the front of the caravan, you've got your 3-pin socket to have power out to your awning. Open the flap up and you'll see there's a 3-pin socket in there ready to use. Coming into the caravan, on the left hand side as you walk into the caravan you'll see you've got 3 switches across the top of the whale control panel. Switch across the top are master control panel, top left hand side. You've got your interior lighting and then the awning light for the outside of the van also on the end here. And I'll come back to the rest of this in a second once we get to it, but you'll need to have the power on before you start filling the water system up. So to fill this water system on this particular van, you're going to need to come underneath this seat on the front right hand side, and underneath this seat you will find, I actually got the wrong seat there, so underneath the seat as soon as you come in the door of the caravan you'll see that you have got the water valve just here for the drain down. At the moment the position the valve is in you'll be able to fill the water system up. If you spin that valve and point it back towards us here at the end of the seating area, it will actually drain the water system down completely. So before you fill the system up, you need to make sure that valve is pointing to the right. Underneath that front seat on the right hand side, you have got your motor mover control boxes, but you've also got your 240 trip switches. If you're on site and you're not sure if you've got mains power coming to the caravan, hit the test switch here, and if this switch drops down, it means you have mains power coming from the caravan site. If it doesn't, it could potentially mean there's a problem with your lead or the power connection coming into the caravan. And below that, you've got your 12 volt fuses for the 12 volt systems on board the caravan. So to fill the system up, come over to every tap on board the caravan and open them all up on the hot side of the water system. As you can see, taps open. I've already filled the system up at the moment, but to turn the pump on, once you've got all them taps open and it's all connected on the outside, bottom left hand side of this control panel, where this blue icon is, hit the button, it'll go yellow, and when the tap's open, it'll go green. And once the water system's full and you have water running out of every tap continuously on board the caravan, you can shut all of the taps back off. The water system has been heated up, so you'll be able to see that it's all working correctly. Obviously I haven't put the heating on today, just due to the fact of the temperature outside today. So to operate the heating or hot water system, you're going to come over to the control panel by the door here. You can set timers down the bottom here on this icon here. For this, we do advise you read the manual that comes with the caravan. Top left hand side, you've got your options for your heating. So you've got the option to run gas for your heating, or you've got your 3.3 amp, 6.5 amp or 13 amp, depending on what caravan site you're on. So you'll select the relevant power source or the gas. So for instance, 13 amps. And then you can turn up the temperature to where you want the temperature to be, all the way up to 35 degrees. Like I said, I'm not going to turn that on today because it's a little bit warm today. Down the bottom here, you've got your night mode and you've got your winter mode, also for the heating and hot water systems. If you don't want the heating on, you can simply have it on off. And you've also got a cool air fan, which will just blow cool air around the van when the heating system is running. Press the button at the bottom here to come back to your home screen, and you come into your hot water options. So you've got hot water off, 3.3 amp, eco. So 3.3 amp will actually heat the water system up, so it's a fair temperature. The eco will just keep it from freezing, the eco system will just keep the water warm. I've got a water heater for the frost protection on there as well. For this in more detail, I do advise you read the manual that comes with the caravan. And then on the time boost on this side, you do actually have the option of running a time boost for when you're showering on board the caravan. And it is only a 15-minute time boost, but you can either select the 6.5 amps or the gas option, depending on what sort of site you are on. Press the button at the bottom here, and you go back to your home screen. Hob, grill and oven all works very much like your household appliances, with your igniter on the right hand side here. The 240 electric ring will only work if you're on mains power. Microwave, again, works very much like your household device. Do advise before you travel down the road that you remove the microwave plate from inside of the caravan prior to travelling. Fridge, again, is very simple to use. Use the power button on the left hand side to turn it on. First option you see here that is lit up is the mains option, and you can control the temperature of the fridge on the thermometer button on the right hand side. The more amount of buttons you have, or the more amount of icons you have lit up, the colder the fridge will be. So ignite the fridge on gas, hit the gas option here. Fridge will self-ignite on gas. If it fails to ignite on gas, it's going to flash the blue light here, and also the red warning triangle on the right hand side. If it does fail to ignite on gas, you can press and hold the warning button on the right hand side and it will restart the igniter for the gas system. You've then got your 12 volt mode for when you're towing down the road. So the 12 volt mode is very simply from the car you are towing with, and it will allow the fridge to work as a cool box as you are travelling. To turn the fridge off, you press and hold the power button on the left hand side here, and it will isolate the power to the fridge or turn the power off completely. Going into the washroom, you have the shower at the back of the van, as you'd have in your current caravan, the same as the sink area, all works very much the same. And the toilet system will work the same also, with an electric flush on top, blue button to flush the toilet, red indicator light to let you know when the toilet waste cassette is completely full. The toilet seat itself actually turns for your convenience, as you can see here. However, when you are removing the toilet waste cassette from the side of the caravan, you need to make sure the toilet is pointing straight on. Then below the toilet, you have your grey waste handle, which you need to have in the open position when you're using the toilet, and then in the closed position when you're not using the toilet. Obviously, if that is in the open position, it will allow the waste into the cassette. If it's in the closed position, then it'll allow you to remove the toilet waste cassette. But if it is in the open position, you try to remove it, you could actually potentially damage the toilet waste cassette itself. So that is the Elddis Avante 840. If you have any further questions on the caravan, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'll be more than happy to help. We appreciate your business, and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon. Thanks again. Bye-bye.